Hi friends, uh, good day. I hope you have gone through the format that has been given to you on the screen and explained to you. So today, what I am doing is I am starting with a problem. This is from study material, but it is you can see that is being displayed here. So this illustration 8 is about they are asking you to prepare balance sheet by following schedule 3. So I have decided to start with a small problem where so that you will be comfortable with the balance sheet. That means the information that is given is related to balance sheet only. Then we can work out depending upon the problem. But today I have started with illustration 8 that is about balance sheet. Now look at this. From the following particulars furnished by Pioneer Limited, prepare the balance sheet as at 31st March 2011 as required by Schedule 3 of the Companies Act. Give notes at the foot of the balance sheet as may be found necessary. That means like footnote, contingent liability, or anything like that. That can be given as a footnote. Equity capital 10 lakhs, calls in arrears 1,000, land 2 lakhs, building 3 lakh 50,000, plant and machinery, furniture, general reserve, loan from state financial corporation, inventory of finished goods, raw materials, provision for taxation, trade receivable, advances, dividend payable, P&L account, cash balance, cash at bank, loans unsecured, trade payable for goods and expenses. The following additional information is also provided. 2,000 equity shares were issued for consideration other than cash. I think whenever you are issuing shares for consideration other than cash, that is to be mentioned as a disclosure when you go for notes to account in share capital. Trade receivable of 52,000 are due for more than 6 months. I told you this is also disclosure. Now the interesting point is here the cost of assets has been given. Cost of asset building, plant and machinery, furniture. But if you look at here, cost of building, plant and machinery, furniture has been given. Am I right? So these three assets then will become written down value. So this is here whatever has been given is cost. So I think the cost minus written down value is nothing but depreciation. I think depreciation we need not calculate, it is there in the balance sheet itself. That is to be prepared. The balance sheet which is to be prepared there itself, the information that has been given, the written down value when he has given, it means this is written down value means after adjusting the depreciation. I think for this particular problem that we shall assume that this depreciation has been already adjusted. So written down value after adjusting the depreciation. Okay. Then the balance of 1,50,000 in the loan account with State Finance Corporation is inclusive of 7,500 for interest accrued but not due. The loan is secured by hypothecation of plant and machinery. Then it comes long-term borrowings. So what is that you should do? From 1,50,000 you shall deduct 7,500 because the 7,500 is interest accrued. Interest accrued is a other current liability item. You have learned that, but that has been included in the amount of loan that is due to State Finance Corporation. So what is that you should do now? From 1,50,000 you shall deduct 7,500, then 1,42,500 will become long term borrowing. secured. Okay. Then next, balance at bank includes 2000 with Perfect Bank Limited, which is not a scheduled bank. Simple words like it is a disclosure. Whatever the balance at bank 2,47,000 is given, this 2,47,000 is including 2,000 rupees amount which is due, amount which is there with scheduled bank. So what is that we should do? Amount with a bank which is not a scheduled bank, sorry, which is not a scheduled bank. That means 2,47,000 minus 2,000, it is coming to 2,45,000 is with scheduled bank, and 2,000 rupees with, which is not a scheduled bank. That disclosure you should give to the investors. The reason is simple. If the deposit is with scheduled banks, it's not that much risk. When the amount is with a non-scheduled bank, risk will be bit more. That information you should provide. Is this clear? It's a disclosure. Then the company had contract for the erection of machinery at 1,50,000, which is still incomplete. So I think this information just we are disclosing. The company had a contract means once the contract is completed, it becomes liability. So I think this can be taken as a note, as I told you, like a contingent liability. We'll be writing a note. Now, what I do here is that you have gone through the head format, no? So where this will appear under notes to account, where it will appear, share capital, share capital. Am I right? We'll be having a note called as share capital. Share capital, major heading is shareholders funds. Subheading is share capital. Major heading shareholders fund. Under that share capital. Okay, calls in arrears. You know that. Deduct from share capital. Deduct from share capital. And about this, I've already told you. Land, building, plant, and furniture. They all comes under tangible fixed assets. They comes under tangible fixed assets. General reserve. Reserves and surplus heading. Loan from, I've already given, long term borrowing. Non current liability, under that long term borrowing secured. Inventory himself has given, this will appear in inventory only. Already given the heading inventory. Provision for taxation, short term provision. This is subheading. Main heading is current liabilities. Trade receivable himself has given. Now here we got one note that is more than 6 months. I think the trade receivable subheading has been given. It appears in current asset. Major heading is current asset. Major head, subhead, subhead. The 3 points you should remember. Trade receivable is a subhead. Major head is current asset. In current asset we show trade receivable. Advances. Advances debit balance. Asset, no, we are assuming as short term advance. So we are having getting called as short term loans and advances. Dividend payable, we assume as other current liabilities. Major heading is current liability. Under that subheading is other current liabilities. Other current liabilities. P&L account, reserves and surplus. Cash balance. Cash and cash equivalent. Cash at bank. Cash and cash equivalent. Loans. Unsecured. Loans unsecured. Himself has given loans unsecured. But we will be showing under long term borrowings only. The reason is unless, as far as loans are concerned, generally If short term loans, he will be mentioning. Otherwise, loans can be taken as long term borrowing only, but unsecured. Then, trade payable himself has given trade payable will be taken to current liability. Himself has given the heading. Subheading has been given. No need to go for subheading again. When subheading has been given, only one item are there. No need to go for notes to account. But major heading under that subheading is not given. We shall go for notes to account. Are you following? Suppose Kratos has been given, but trade payable as word has not been given. Then what is that we should do? We should write trade payable. Under that we should write Kratos. When he himself has given trade payable, that means subheading in himself has given, then directly we can show this trade payable under current liabilities. Okay. Then next, this is a disclosure as I told you. Now we start with problem starting with notes to accounts. Then we can go to the there are two things, my dear friends. Since this is explanation part, I am writing notes to accounts. While doing the examination, generally they will be giving you they will be first giving you the balance sheet. They will be giving balance sheet. One page they are leaving it for balance sheet, and then they go for notes to account. After completion of notes to account, they come back to balance sheet. So I think here I am starting with notes to account. This is for explanation, but you can do like that also. But generally, balance sheet is first they will be displaying the balance sheet. Even tomorrow you can see in the newspapers the audited reports. First you see on the face of the newspaper balance sheet followed by statement of P&L account. Notes to account will be there in the next page. So while you are doing the solution, better you do like that. But here what I am trying to do is that since to explain you, I am starting with which one? Notes to account. Okay. So let me start here. Notes to account. First part is share capital. I'm not writing major heading. Major heading is shareholders fund. Under that, subheading is share capital. The share capital is two types, equity and preference. Here we are having equity share capital. We don't have information of authorized. So when authorized is not given, and mind you, this is current year figures only because we don't have any information of previous year. I have told you even when I was explaining the format. Authorized is question mark. When you don't know, you put question mark. Then we can write common heading. Issued, comma, subscribed, comma, we can get write the heading issued, comma, subscribed, comma, called up and paid up. So if you look at the problem, the balance sheet has given how many shares? 10 lakhs by 100. 10 lakhs by 100 means you will be getting 10,000 equity shares. No, the number. Here, what is that I am writing? 10,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each. It is coming to what we are having. Calls in arrears. What is calls in arrears? 1,000. 10 lakhs minus 1,000 is coming to 9 lakhs 99,000. But here, what is that we'll be writing? Just a minute. I think we got one information on this. Just a minute. That issue of shares including 2000 shares for consideration other than cash. No? I think that disclosure first we should write, then we can deduct. So, of the above 2000 shares have been issued for consideration other than cash. That information you should give. Now here, less, now you write. I told you calls in arrears was given there, second item. Calls in arrears will be adjusted from called up capital. Called up capital minus paid up capital. Here I have written everything. Issued, subscribed, called up, paid up is same, no? If nothing is mentioned, same. So calls in arrears, it is coming to 1000. Otherwise, sometimes subscribed is different, called up is different, like that. But here everything is same. So 1000, 10 lakhs minus 1000, 9 lakhs 99,000. Okay, this is note 1. Note 2. Now, reserves and surplus. Reserves and surplus. In reserves and surplus, I have already told you, we got general reserve, no? 2,10,000. This is one item. And one more item I told you, P&L account. These two will be taken to where? Note number 2. So, general reserve I am writing here. General reserve 2,10,000, and then P&L account is called as surplus. Surplus P&L account, and that too showing with balance, credit balance, we are writing surplus. It is 86,700. Two lakh 96,700, because this is only balance sheet, no appropriations. If appropriation there, we could have done the appropriation. When you are preparing statement of P&L balance sheet, then this is going to be significant adjustment. Then under long-term liabilities, non-current liabilities, we are having long-term borrowings. I have told you already. State loan from State Finance Corporation, secured and unsecured loans. Two items we are having. So first let me write with secured. Secured. In this, loan from State Finance Corporation. Loan from State Finance Corporation, I have told you already, 1,50,000 is including interest accrued, no, that I am taking out. 1,42,500. Then we are also having unsecured loan. Unsecured loan, you have seen that unsecured loan here. 1,21,000. $1,21,000. Okay. then 2,63,500. This is total. For everything we can write like total here. Total. So after long-term borrowings, I think the problem we can see I have written other current liabilities. You can see the headings I have written already. Other current liabilities. We are having dividend payable and 7,500 adjustment is there. No, the 7,500 will go to other current liabilities. I have written already. Interest accrued, other current liabilities. So two items I am having of other current liability. So fourth adjustment, abating other current liabilities. In other current liabilities, interest accrued on loan from State Finance Corporation, 7,500. The next item, dividend payable. Dividend payable. What was the dividend payable? We have seen there 60,000. It is better to download the problems from study material. It will be easy. You can log on to Viewers Knowledge Portal. I think most of you are aware of it. The advantage is that the I'll be mixing the problems from our charms material and study material. But company final account, I think one or two problems was given initially. So that is the reason why I'm taking the problems from study material. Most of the chapters I wish to take study material so that the revision will be simultaneously completed. Okay, I think the advantage you'll be having that you will be study material problems also you can cover. Even those who are not received study material also you can download the this particular chapter and it can be easy. Okay, but anyhow I am also taking the copy of the problem and displaying on the screen. So it is coming to 67,500. This is total. The fifth heading. We are having liability side short term provision. Short term provision we are having provision for taxation. What is provision for taxation? 68,000. Provision for taxation 68,000. I think these are things we have covered on the liability side. Let me start with assets. Property, plant and equipment I have told you know. Under that we will be getting tangible fixed assets. I have told you cost, depreciation, cost is gross block. Okay. Since we don't have any additions, the chart is not required. Simply write the name of the asset. Name. We are having four assets: land, building, plant and machinery, furniture and fittings. The problem is given cost value of the assets. You can see building 4 lakhs, plant, furniture. It means land is no depreciation. So land is appearing at cost price. Land is appearing at cost price. Remaining assets are appearing at written down value. I think these values, including land, is to be taken here. Land cost 2 lakhs, depreciation nil, written down value 2 lakhs. Building and in this problem depreciation is balancing figure. Cost minus net book value, net block, that is written down value, is depreciation. Land no depreciation. Building 4 lakhs. Building 4 lakhs. And what is written down value given? 3 lakh 50,000 the problem. So depreciation is how much? 50,000. Next, plant and machinery. 7 lakhs. And here we are having 5 lakhs 25,000. Written down value. Difference is 1 lakh 75,000. So that becomes your depreciation. So is the case of furniture. Furniture costs 62,500 given in the problem. And what is the book value given? 50,000. The difference is how much? 12,500 is taken as a balancing. That's it. This is called as disclosure. Okay. Now, if you want, you can go for the totaling of it. You'll be getting. You can go for totaling of it. Let me take calculator just a minute. I think we can do 2 plus 4, 6, 6 plus 7, 13. 13 lakh 62,500. Okay, 7 plus 4, 11 plus 2, 13. 13 lakh 62,500. Now, 170 plus 50, 225, 225, 237, 500. So 13 lakh 62, 500. You are getting 11 lakhs 25,000. Now this will be taken to balance sheet. Is this clear? For your information, I am rounding it off. It is not required. This total will be taken to where? Balance sheet. So sixth asset also has been completed. Now seventh inventory has been given. That same thing we will be writing here because you are having two items. No, those two items can't be taken in the balance sheet as a separate item. So that is being called as inventories. Inventories, raw material, $50,000. Then finished goods, finished goods 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs 50,000. Then next I told you, you should go for trade receivable. Trade receivable is nothing but debtors. So I told you here in the problem we have seen, trade receivable given 2 lakhs, but we are having adjustment. What is that? Trade receivable of 50,000 are due for more than 6 months. That disclosure we should give. Trade receivable. That's outstanding for a period exceeding exceeding from exceeding 6 months. Exceeding 6 months. 52,000. Then we can write other debts. 1,48,000. How, sir? Total is 2 lakhs. Out of 2 lakhs, 52 is more than 6 months means other debts, which is less than 6 months. It is called as other debts. This is total. Already 2 lakhs has been given. Just we are splitting it. That means the chance of getting bad debts is there. That we are indicating. That's it. Okay. Then last item, ninth item, we are having note number 9, cash and cash equivalents. Okay. So first let me start with cash at bank. Cash at bank 2,45,000. Okay. This is actually we got 2,47,000. You can see this. I told you already. This 2,47,000 is having 2,000 with perfect bank. So what I am writing, cash at bank is with a scheduled banks. When he is saying which is not a scheduled bank means other bank balance is with scheduled bank 2,45,000. Then with others, perfect bank limited. Name has been given. Further, perfect bank limited 2,000. 2,47,000. Next, we are also having cash in hand. What is your cash in hand? 30,000. Okay, now cash and cash equivalent total is 2 lakhs 17,000 is a total. Okay. So here I'm writing a note about contingent liability. Estimated amount of contract remaining estimated amount of contract remaining to be executed because this is the company had a contract for the erection of machinery which still incomplete, that is where to be executed. Once if it is executed, it becomes liability. To be executed, not provided, rupees 1,50,000 per per erection of a machinery. That means after purchase of machinery, it is to be erected. No, that means the contract has been given for purchase of machinery. It is to be erected. Estimate amount of contract remaining to be executed not provided for erection of machinery. Okay, this is like a note. Now we can come back to solution. We start with the solution first. As I told you, we should write the name of the company, then balance sheet. Pioneer Limited. Balance sheet, I told you to write asset. 31st March. What is the year that has been given? 31st March 2011. 31st March 2011. Then Nicholas this column is for note number, and nothing is mentioned. Obviously, it is related to current year figures only. Okay, then let me start with the first heading is equity and liabilities. Equity and liabilities. Under that, the major heading is shareholders funds. Shareholders funds. In this first I am writing share capital. This is subheading. We have already learned the note number 1. We got 9,99,000 share capital. B. Reserves and surplus. Note number 2, we have done reserves and surplus. Note number 2, how much you can see? 2,96,700. 2,96,700. Okay. So this is completed. Now second one. Second one. See the other format CD, share warrant, amount received on share warrant is not required. Only the main things are subheadings which is given in the problem you write. If you can remember, you can write it. It's a time waste of time. In the examination, you won't be having the time to write the entire format. Please try to follow. Even this is what is being provided in the study material also. They don't expect you to write all the entire format. Only the relevant things which is given, that is only you should write it. Entire format is not required. That entire format is the possibility of having maximum items. That is what you should remember. Okay. Next, non-current liabilities. So another subheading, major it, non-current liabilities. In non-current liabilities, we are having long-term borrowings in the problem. We have already done a note 3, long-term borrowings. You can see what is long-term borrowing, secured and secured, 2,63,500. 2,63,500. This problem, the same model came in the last year November examination as a 10 marks question. 2,63,500. Then third, then we'll be going for third, current liabilities. Current liabilities. In this current liabilities, we were having 3 subheadings we have written. One is trade payable. This already has been given the value, so no need to go for note. Directly you can write trade payable is given as 2 lakhs. You can see trade payable has been given as 2 lakhs. So trade payable 2 lakhs. Okay. B, we went for other current liabilities that we have already worked out. and we are also having short term provisions. So other current liabilities, short term other current 67,500, short term provisions 68,000. 67,500, short term provision 68,000. Then finally we can go for totaling. Total. Other current liabilities, I think we have written note number 4. This is note number 5. Total. Okay. The total, if you go for it, you go for totaling of it, take the calculator. I got the answer with me. You can see that 9,99,000 plus 2,96,700 plus 2,63,500 plus 2 lakhs plus 67,500 plus 68,000. It is coming to 18 lakhs 94,700. This is total of equity and liability. Now, the next heading, we write assets. Vertical balance sheet we are doing. This is assets. In assets, first one, I should start with non-current assets. Non-current assets. Here, in this, what I am writing, A, property, plant and equipment. Previous to used to write fixed assets. Now with accounting standard 10 revised, property, plant and equipment. Here, in this, we are writing subheading tangible assets. Like one, we write like A, major heading, non-current assets, subheading, subheading, tangible assets. Okay, what is tangible assets we are having? We have done that already. Working notes now. Working notes number 6 we have done. Working notes number 6, if you see, tangible assets is coming to 11 lakhs 25,000. 11 lakhs 25,000. Eleven lakhs 25,000. B. We don't have B item, sorry. Then next, so this heading is completed. Next heading, we shall go for point number 2, current asset. Current assets. In current assets, now we should start with A, inventories. We have already done that. Subheading. Let me complete these. Inventories, we have done it. Trade receivable also we have opened notes. Trade receivables. C, cash and cash cash and cash equivalent, and then we also got one short term loans and advances. Actually, we have not gone for any notes, only one item is there, short term loans and advances. I'll do one thing. If you want, you can have one more short term loans and advances. Since if it is only one item, you can ignore it. I think we can see the items. We should start with 7. Note number 7, 2 lakh 50, 2 lakhs 8, 2 lakh 77,000. This is to be written here. So current assets inventories 2 lakh 50,000. Trade receivable. This is note number 7. This is note number 8. 2 lakhs. Cash and cash equivalents 9. 42,000. Sorry. Advances. 9 cash and cash equivalents. We got it. 2 lakh 77,000. 2 lakhs 77,000. And short term loans and advances I've written there in the problem itself. I've mentioned that advances has been assumed as this one, a short term advance. So directly only one item is there. Obviously, it comes under short term loans and advances. That amount can be written here. Short term loans and advances coming to 42,700. Then we can go for totaling of it. And try with the calculator. You will be getting the same balance sheet of 18,94,700. Okay, clear to all of you? I think this is how we should do problem. Slowly, I think you will be able to understand it. So this is what I told you. You can leave one space for balance sheet, space for one full page for writing the balance sheet format. Then you can start notes to account. Or notes to account also you can write. There's nothing wrong in that doing it. But I think generally people they start with the format. But to explain you what is that I have done, I have started with the notes to account. Okay, this you can practice. So next class we work out one more problem. Initially 4 to 5 days you need to be thorough with that. Then after that I think if you feel comfortable in doing it, right? And most important, I told you the balance sheet format. I think 6 to 7 chapters you will be keeping on revising. Maybe after 5 to 6 chapter balance sheet looks very easy. Statement of P&L account also I given some abbreviation CPC, EFDO, revenue from operations and other income, total of revenue, then cost CPC, EFDO, cost of inventory, cost of material used, purchase of stock in trade. These things. C, changes in inventory of finished goods, work in progress, and those items I have given, and stock in trade. E, employee benefit expenses. F, finance cost. D, depreciation, amortization. O, other expenses. That's it. From that, if you that is profit before tax. If you deduct tax, profit after tax. Generally, this is what discontinuing operation, etc. That is very rare cases you come across. I think now after 1 or 2 problems, you should feel okay. Yeah, I hope you all are practicing this, right? So shall I conclude for the day? I thank you very much. God bless you all.